Well, good morning, everyone. This is our first full day in Tokyo, Japan. And unfortunately, we got here right when the tsunami or the typhoon Hajibis is hitting. And luckily, there is a 7-Eleven right down the street from our hotel. We are staying at the Keio Plaza Hotel. And that's about as far as we were able to get this morning. It's about 6 a.m. and it's already raining very hard and the winds are picking up. So luckily 7-Eleven wasn't stocked that much last night. We weren't able to try any of the egg salad sandwiches, the famous ones known throughout Japan. So we went ahead and got a few sandwiches this morning. Let me go ahead and show you what we got. And all of this was about $13. We got two types of egg salad sandwiches. One that comes on a loaf type of bread right here, the famous egg salad sandwich. We have a bacon and cream cheese sandwich. The melon bread, which actually has some Armenian origins, which I will talk about later. My mom picked up these milk paste buns. They look pretty good. My dad got a hot latte, and I got a cold milk tea. Here is the famous egg salad sandwich. Let's see how it is. That's good. It's good. It's so simple. It's definitely the mayonnaise that they use. I know if you're in America, they sell the Japanese mayo. I definitely think that's what's being used in here, and that's what makes it so good. And for 7-Eleven, it's fresh. This is good. I also went ahead and tried the milk tea. Better than a lot of the milk teas I've had in Los Angeles specifically, with all the boba craze going on. This has much more of a cleaner and smoother taste. It's not sharp with the tea or the milk flavor. And now here is the second egg salad sandwich. It looks the same type of egg salad, just the bread. It's a bit more spongier and more of a French type of loaf. Yeah, just like that. It's the same egg salad and just the bread is different, but I prefer the bread on this one, actually. It's better than the white bread slices on the other one. Now we are going to try the bacon and cream cheese sandwich. Obviously the bread looks pretty big and you think it's filled with cream cheese until you open it up and that's all the cream cheese there is. And the bacon, I mean, they filled the sandwich, but just the one layer. The bread is a bit chewy. The bacon, if you don't like crispy bacon, or if you do like crispy bacon, I don't recommend this. The bacon is pretty chewy too. Obviously, it's been sitting in the refrigerator, so even if it was crispy, it's going to get a little bit soggy. The cream cheese is good though. It has a good flavor to it, but I wouldn't get this one again. These milk paste buns actually come in a pack of 3 and they are individually wrapped, which is nice to have them, saved for later. They're pretty dense, have a good weight to them. They almost remind me of an Asian mahmoul, if you're a Middle Eastern and you know about that pastry. Almost sticky, very subtle taste. You can kind of taste the milk paste in it, and I've had different milk paste or milk buns before, but there's something else in it too. I can't quite get my taste to recognize it, but it's good. Simple, slightly sweet, and one is definitely enough. The one I am most excited for, the melon pan or melon bread. This is well known throughout Japan as well, and as I mentioned earlier, it actually has an Armenian origin to it, and I went ahead and wrote down the story. So a Japanese businessman by the name of Okura Kihachiro brought an Armenian baker by the name of Sagoyan in 1910 from Russia who had worked for the Romanovs. And there's different accounts on what actually happened after that, but he was making a similar bread to this, came to Japan, made the bread, and the next thing you know, he's opening pastry shops and other people are imitating his bread, and he went to China and other countries, and that's how the melon bread became famous. There's the interior. This is a better version of pan dulce. If If you live in LA or you're Hispanic and you know about that, this is the best thing I can relate it to. But it's not as sweet. The bread is a little more fluffy. And then the outside, you think it's going to be crispy, but it's just the light sugar coating that adds a little sweetness to it. So it's definitely a light alternative to a sweet bread. We are trying the beef wrap. It looks like there's just some beef with coleslaw or cabbage in here. It's okay. The beef has a little bit of a sweet sauce on it, but there's so much cabbage, it kind of overpowers the beef. Definitely need some more meat in there to really get that taste, but it's more of a lighter wrap if you don't want something too heavy. So now let's move on to the sweeter sandwiches here. We have one that has the slice of peach in the middle. They don't fill it up too much. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space in here, and it's just mostly that one slice with the peach, or with the whipped cream, I should say. It's almost like a strawberry shortcake with the cream and bread, nothing too big of a deal. And then there's the one with the kiwis here. And it looks like there's some more fruit in the back, maybe pineapple. Wouldn't get it again, but nothing bad about these. Fresh fruit, light whipped cream, and the bread. So it's now dinner time, and since we are still stuck in the hotel, we have nothing better to do than eat again. We took a pretty long nap, and we had picked up a few things in the hotel's convenience store, since we weren't sure how much was going to be left if we came back later, given the tsunami or the typhoon going on, and we just went through an earthquake as well. So we were sure everyone was going to stock up, and they probably wouldn't be able to restock for the night, but you know, we might check it out again just to see what's going on. So there are a few different sandwiches that we haven't seen yet. One is a pork cutlet and egg, and the other one is a ham cutlet and egg. So here we have the pork cutlet and egg, and looks like there's a little bit of coleslaw on top, the egg salad on the bottom, and of course the pork in the middle. That's good. There's a lot of flavor throughout it. Of course, there's a part of me that wishes the pork was warm and crispy, but if for a sandwich like this, it works being cold and having it with the other cold ingredients. And there's definitely a different flavor with the coleslaw. Not really spicy, but there's a different kick in it that adds new flavor on top of the egg salad sandwich flavor. And the pork is still actually pretty juicy and tender, given that it's been refrigerated for however long. Here is the ham cutlet and egg. And as opposed to the pork cutlet, this is about all the egg there is in the middle. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get a bite in the first bite. And the bread is also kind of like an English muffin. I definitely prefer the pork cutlet. This one, the bread is too thick given how thin the ham is. And even the egg, it got a little bit of it, but it's just so little, it's almost no point of putting an egg. It does seem like there's like a Japanese mustard in this one, which I forgot to mention, or I didn't think about. The pork cutlet also had some mustard in it. Good morning, everyone. It is our official day 2, or I guess day 3 if you count the first night in Tokyo. And the weather has changed for the better. Thank God. We can see clear skies, no more rain, everything is dried up. So let's hope the weather stays like this. And we can see a 7-Eleven from our hotel room, and it looks like it has been closed this morning, so we weren't sure exactly where we were going to go eat, but luckily our hotel, again that's the Keio Plaza Hotel, has a convenience store with a lot of foods that are very closely priced to outdoor convenience stores, and we were able to find some newly stocked sandwiches, and of course we gotta try every sandwich there is. Someone on a Facebook group for Japan vacation planning recommended the potato sandwich, so I went ahead and got the ham cutlet, potato, egg, and ham combination sandwich. And it kind of looks like 4 different types of sandwiches all in one. So let's go ahead and try that one. As you can tell, these are very thin compared to the regular egg and tuna salad sandwiches. Of course, you're getting essentially 4 different types in here. So they're going to make them a lot smaller. There's the ham cutlet, the potato. Here we have the egg and another potato here. I think if I remember Mickey Chen, if he was the one that went ahead and bit them all at once, so let me go ahead and try that to get a full flavor combination here. Let me tell you, Japanese people know how to put flavor combinations in their sandwiches. You quite frankly can never find something like this in America, between the egg, the pork cutlet, or the ham cutlet, I should say, and the potato, but that's a pretty good combination. You definitely should try them all together at once. And the bread is so light and fluffy that you can just squeeze it all down with ease. And everything is so tender and juicy. It's one of those mind-blowing situations where you think it's sitting in the refrigerator, it's gonna get dry, it's not gonna be juicy, but everything is still so fresh. That's highly recommended. The next sandwich that my dad actually chose we used the Google Translate app because there weren't any English translations on the actual packaging. And we were able to make out that it's pastrami, but it also looks like on the bottom here, it might be turkey or some kind of other meat, maybe just a different type of pastrami. And there's a little bit of what looks like Thousand Island and some cabbage as well, and on some type of wheat bread. Not too crazy like the other sandwich, more milder flavors. The pastrami isn't that strong too though. That's really good. It's not salty. The only downside is there's a lot of open bread space too. Our convenience store in the hotel also had this Boss Cafe au lait drink. Obviously can't really read anything else on here. It's all in Japanese. So let's go ahead and see what this tastes like. Ooh, that's good. It's really good coffee. Smooth, light. It's a great taste. That's definitely one you need to try. So this is our third morning in Tokyo, and we plan to go to Toyosu Market, but little did we know it was a holiday for Japan, and they are closed today. So of course we had to go to Lawson and get some more sandwiches for breakfast and a few other items. All of this cost about 1,200 yen, or under 12 US dollars. We grabbed a pork cutlet sandwich, the Lawson egg salad sandwich, which we have not tried yet, a few pastries, a juice, and then a coffee from Uchi Cafe. So first up, let's try the pork cutlet sandwich. And this is actually the first time we've come across this sandwich, probably because we got here so early and they actually had some still available. That's good. The same white bread, a little bit of curry mustard, and the pork is still juicy. And it's pretty light, it's not heavy, and you don't get that oily, fried taste from it as well. Next up, the Lawson egg salad sandwich. Looks similar to 7-Eleven's and the one from our hotel, but let's see how it tastes. This one has more of the egg taste. I think 7-Eleven has more of the mayo taste to it. This is probably less mayo in it, and I kind of like the 7-Eleven version more, with the creaminess and the taste from that. But this one is still a good option if you're not big on mayo. Definitely go with the Lawson version. Here we have the Cafe au lait, and this is definitely a lighter version than the one we had the last 2 days. Not as heavy, not as sweet. And then we also grabbed a Lawson bakery item. It kind of looks like French toast. Doesn't smell like French toast though, it smells better. There we go. You see all those layers and the air pockets? It's a very fluffy, like a sponge cake version of a French toast. Very buttery too. Lots of butter in there. And a nice char or a grill on the bottom too. So I just encountered my first, issue, if you want to say. I hadn't filmed inside a 7-Eleven or Lawson before, and I just started filming inside of a Lawson convenience store, and I guess the employee, the manager, whoever it was, kind of kicked me out. He kind of grabbed me by the arm and pulled me out and showed me the sign that says no filming in the store. And then I kind of said, oh, I'm sorry, and can I still buy? And obviously there's a language barrier, so I Not sure if he said no or yes, but I just walked out. I didn't want to stay in there anymore. But yeah, I mean, that was I guess my mistake, because I didn't see the sign, but also I didn't expect there to be a sign that said no filming. I was in a 7-Eleven just before this, and you saw I was able to film the majority of it and nobody said anything. Again, I'm not sure if 7-Eleven has signs or not that say no filming, but Lawson indeed does. When I was doing my research, I had seen some places they were, I guess, against filming and taking photos, but I just didn't expect a convenience store to be one of those places. Learn something new every day, and another part of respecting the culture for whatever country you are in. So we got one more sandwich to try here. We are trying the ham, cheese, and egg sandwich, and let me get that into view. Basically, just kind of tastes like honey ham or black forest ham with, I guess, American cheese. I don't know if they have American cheese or not, and it's kind of the egg salad, mostly the hard-boiled eggs with those beautiful orange yolks. And it's not bad, it's pretty good ham, fresh sliced, good spongy bread. So, another decent sandwich. And this one was actually from Lawson, and the Lawson I got kicked out. So the only thing harder than choosing which sandwich to buy at a convenience store, it's which drink to buy. And I actually noticed that Sprite is very hard to come by in convenience stores. Not that I was necessarily looking for Sprite every time, but there was one time where I checked if there was Sprite, and 7-Eleven didn't have it, the hotel store didn't have it, Lawson didn't have it, and I stumbled upon it at a local street vending machine. But then earlier this morning, we went to a 7-Eleven and they had a Sprite. And I've also noticed that Fanta and Dr. Pepper is also only seen at vending machines, while the convenience stores have Coke, Coke Zero, Coke Plus, and then a clear Pepsi drink, which we haven't tried just yet. But the milk teas, the coffees, the green teas have all been great.